You know what was one of the biggest ever inventions of mankind? It was the invention of the wheel. Something like what I'm leaning on to right now. Not exactly, but something similar, something closer. The wheel drives the mankind forward. So boys and girls out there, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Green Signal. In today's episode of Green Signal, we have a car and a bike to review. And in the cars section, what we have is Mahindra's new Chota Bheem, the Chota Silo, the Mahindra Quanto. There has been a lot of speculations about Mahindra's mini silo for months. Long before the Quanto was launched, there was 3D graphics and drawings in many of the magazines and publications. And most of them had got it quite right, at least from the front part. Now for buyers, Mahindra Quanto is actually good news. They get a smaller, easier to maneuver, low price variety of the silo. And for Mahindra, they actually needed this car in this particular segment because compact sports utility vehicle is picking up in India, and now Mahindra has got their boy there with the name Quanto. We're going to review the C6 variant of Quanto. The Quanto isn't a scaled-down silo. It's actually the same MPV, the same multi-purpose vehicle with its tail chopped off. Now the result is actually awkward proportions. It's 1.9 meter tall and is just 4 meter in length. Part, the front and the rear doors are also carried over from silo, and the similarity extends to the C-pillar. However, Mahindra has given some distinctive SUV features to Quanto, which includes the black and D pillar, the roof rails, the footboard, and an extra tire, a stepney tire, which is mounted on the tailgate. The Quanto and Silo share the same 2760mm wheelbase, which suggests there is no compromise on space for the first two rows. The Quanto also uses 15-inch wheels, but the narrower and lower profile tires, that is 65 profile versus the Silo 75, further enhance the car's top-heavy stance. The Quanto is 535mm shorter than the Silo, and a big advantage of shedding so much metal is that it weighs a considerable 190 kg less. However, at 1640 kilograms, it is still unduly heavy for such a compact vehicle. Now let's look into the hood of our boy. Powering the Quanto is a 1493cc 3-cylinder version of the very capable, very powerful M-Hawk common rail diesel engine. The Mahindra & Mahindra engineers has concentrated on insulating the cabin from vibrations and noise, and for most part, the Quanto is very positively refined. The engine settles to a smooth idle, and the 3-cylinder motor, it just gives you a slight hint of pitter-patter. While 98.6 bhp of power and 24.5 kg of torque from the small capacity engine may not appear generous, the well-judged gearing and the two-stage turbocharger, a first on this class of car, results in impressive drivability. The engine hits a sweet spot from as low as 1600 rpm, and there is a linear and strong torque all the way past 3000 rpm, making the Quanto ideal for low speed and in-traffic driving. Trundling along in the third gear at 30 to 40 km per hour, you need just a gentle squeeze of the throttle to ease past slower cars. However, the superb low-speed drivability comes at the cost of top and punch. Even the mid-range isn't particularly strong. The rubbery gear shift doesn't feel great either. But it's something you cannot avoid during quick overtaking maneuvers. The shortfall in grunt requires a downshifter too. Also, the 3-cylinder diesel thrum becomes more apparent once you get past the 2500 RPM mark and is hard to shake off at high revs. You feel the shortfall of power most when you load up the Quanto with a full complement of passengers or when powering up a hill road. For the record, the Quanto takes a leisurely 16 seconds to reach 100 km per hour and reaches a top speed of 143 km per hour. The Quanto has got an incredibly generous amount of space inside. The lofty seating position, the huge glass area, and the low window gives it a The middle row is particularly roomy, but the seat back is a bit too upright and the cushioning is a bit too flat and hard. As for the last pair of seats, the side-facing position, tight space, knees-up seating position and near vertical backrest make these usable only for short drives, and the safety in the event of a rear impact is truly questionable. For all rows in place, luggage space is pretty limited. Fold the last two seats, however, and you get a reasonably big foot. In fact, Mahindra has done well when it comes to storage space around the cabin. There is a useful box under the driver's seat, foldable trays for the middle seat passengers, and space below the second row seat that is good to store 2 soft bags. When we speak about the ride and handling, the modest top speed is actually a blessing in Quanto. Why? Because at high speeds, the Quanto's drivability doesn't instill confidence in you. However, in the city, Quanto is a much better behaved car. Now, the ride is still fidgety, the drive is still fidgety, but still, the way it behaves with pathholes and bumps is quite impressive. For the price, the Quanto is quite well equipped and comes with essential features like a tuned-in USB, SD card and aux-equipped music system, power steering, 2 airbags and ABS. The dashboard, a carryout from the silo, houses the digital drive assist system, which is a DDAS that gives you information on your distance to empty, average fuel economy and outside temperature. Quanto has been priced very aggressively, ranging from Rs 6 lakhs to Rs 7.5 lakhs, ranging from all the variants, that's from C2 to C8. Now all of a sudden, compact sports utility vehicles are the rage of the market. For buyers who wants the presence of an SUV on the road, combined with the lure of a diesel motor, plus low cost and reliability, I guess Quanto is the right choice. Welcome back. Let's get into the next segment, which is for you and I, for the normal commuter people, the bike segment. There was a time when TVS Motor Company ruled Indian roads. That was with their then bike, the TVS Victor. But the sales charts has been recently showing diminishing figures due to lack of new launches. Now TVS has got a new bike to regain their position, and the name is rightly called TVS Phoenix. Now, will Phoenix help them to regain their position that they once had? Stands absolutely true, and TVS Phoenix is a really good looker. No, it's not just the graphics, but the graphics and the proportion that gives an aura of attractiveness to this bike. The paint quality, the matte finishing and the smart use of contrasting shades at places ensure a definite second look even from a distance. The Phoenix doesn't disappoint on looks from close quarters either. An aggressive style headlight, sharply styled large turn indicators, well-chromed detachable fuel cap, wedge-shaped mirrors, quality ergonomic switchgear and grips all reek of the attention TVS has put behind the Phoenix. The deep bluster finish is a delight and some features, though not groundbreaking, are still a welcome addition. The console that reminds us of the 200NS is nice to look, especially at night, where the amber backlight welcomes you with a self-check. It may look a little dull during the day to some though. Low battery indicator, fuel gauge, service reminder, a trip meter odometer that can be switched at the press of a button and a digital speedometer conclude the dashboard family. The assumed engine kill switch turned out to be the control for hazard blinkers. The LED palette lamps, though not very bright, impart an aggressive look to the motorcycle. The engine, exhaust, crash guards, all coated in black, carry forward the quality decorum apparent to every inch on the Phoenix. The multi-reflector taillight gives a bright indicator of the bike utilizing its brakes. Now let's talk about the seat of TVS Phoenix. The seat form is one of the pleasures that we have seen in any bike of this range. The seat is dual tone, dual textured with a perforated surface for the pillion rider. Absolutely, it's a joy to sit and ride on this bike. On the exhaust shield, the EcoThrust engine is a 124.5cc single-cylinder engine with a maximum power of 10.9 bhp. The bike easily gives you a mileage of 60 plus kilometers. Aided by an all-up 4-speed close ratio gearbox, the Phoenix provides enough grunt to tackle a metro city traffic drudgery even when riding 2 up with no lags in acceleration between the gear shifts. The TVS Phoenix is a surprise package when it comes to handling. I was amazed to see the road grip of this bike, considering the fact that usually the TVS branded tires, they are at the receiving end when it comes to the road bite. But this bike has got tires which has got awesome grip on the roads. We gleefully repeat that the plush treatment of the well-padded seat and the riding position is extremely comfortable. Can't call it a recess, but the curvature of the tank to some extent supports only the average heighted rider. Tall riders will be finding their knees and thighs over the edges of the fuel tank. The telescopic front suspension felt similar to most economizers in the market. It was, however, the rear suspension that took the cake on comfort. The rear shocks have been labelled Series Spring, and we can vouch they are not a marketing gimmick. It's a fusion of 2 differently rated coil springs placed one above the other with a soft lower and stiff upper spring. The suspension works, and it works beautifully, be it swallowing undulations while riding solo or 2 up. The rebound is not jerky as you would find on other motorcycles, and a simple but brilliant idea of 2 springs has been put to work in great harmony. Well done, TVS. Braking is another plus point of this package. The bike has got a pedal disc in the front. It's a 240mm pedal disc and a 130mm drum brake at the rear. The front pedal disc brake, though not snappy, is really good, and at any given speed it gives you seamless braking. And the back brake, the rear brake, it supports or it complements the front brake really well. Back during the TVS Victor days, a product could have been successful just by the quality alone. But right now, quality and marketing go hand in hand. The TVS Phoenix is a really good bike. We just hope that TVS market it as good as it's engineered. And if that's the case, then TVS has got a winner here. And that winner is their TVS Phoenix which can help them rise from the ashes and help them regain the position that they once had with their TVS Victor.
The focus of this project, as far as Bezalel was concerned, was about the content. So given a specific user interface, what kind of content can you provide? Technology is running very fast, and the idea of connecting the content, the creativity, the new possibilities with the existing technologies and those technologies that are just about to be ready is one that we think is worth exploring with them. One of the examples has to do with kids playing, interacting with the window by drawing on it. Another application has to do with a little creature that flies with you and walks with you as you drive and interacts with what the car is doing. So if the car speeds up, it flies faster.
So the idea is that the applications that we would have on the window actually have the same physics as the vehicle itself. Not only is it a display screen, it's a transparent screen. So how the images relate to the external world is very important. The enabling technology for these apps are all of the technologies that are used for augmented reality, in particular transparent displays, and understanding where the location of the vehicle is in space, GPS. And additionally, it's the vehicle performance information, the acceleration of the vehicle, speed of the vehicle. So there's a variety of technologies that we can bring together to create an augmented reality experience. Unlike my generation, where I explored the world with my dad's tools, the kids today are exploring the world with a digital toolbox. So we're trying to create applications that they could use to really understand in an intuitive way how the world works.
We are looking obviously at social networking. There's a cool interactive display that allows you to not only share the music, but also share a display. So it's almost like a virtual bumper sticker. I think it is very important for GM to work with designers, with scholars that come outside of the automotive industry. But once in a while you get that one idea that you didn't think of and you think it is worth pursuing, and that's exactly what we're after.
This is one example of our attempt to really reinvent the passenger experience. There's a variety of other projects that are coming together that will make the passenger experience much more pleasurable than it is today.
Asianet Satellite Communications Limited is conducting the largest automotive show in South India, Asianet Auto Expo 2013, scheduled during February 15, 16 and 17 at Kalu Stadium Ground, Kochi. So all you auto buffs out there, don't miss this opportunity to get more acquainted to what you love the most, the cars, the bikes and much more. That's all we have in today's episode of Green Signal. Next week, let's catch up same time, same day, same channel in your very own personal auto show, Green Signal. Adios.